everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this twist and pop card using Holly Jolly. This is one from a retired collection from a couple of years ago, just to show you the action when you open the card up. So we're going to make this one using Holly Jolly papers and stickers. So we're going to start out by making the card base, and I'm cutting this at 4 by 11, and then I'll score it at 5.5. There are a lot of measurements in this project, so I will list everything below along with a list of supplies. So I'm scoring this at 5.5 to make my card base. And we'll get going, and then the next thing is to make the mechanism for the inside of the card. So you need a piece that is cut at 8 by 3.5, and then you also need a piece that is cut at 10 by 3.5. So that one's the 8. Just taking a look at the colors and if it's going to matter if I use the lighter or the darker side. This is green apple cardstock, by the way. So that's the 10 by 3.5, and then I'm going to get my scoring tool, and I'm just using the track in my trimmer to score with. So my score marks are at 7.5, 5 inches, and 2.5 inches. And those are the inside panels, the mechanism of my card base. So I'm folding that. It's going to look kind of like a W. The middle one is going to be away, and then the two side ones are going to be towards you for folds. And then I'm taking my 8-inch piece and I am scoring it down the middle lengthwise. So it's at 1 3/4 inches. And now I'm marking from each side at 2 1/4 inches. So I'm marking the top and the bottom at 2 1/4 on the left side, and then also on the right side at 2 1/4 inches, just making little hash marks there, or tick marks. And when I get that marked, I'm going to put it back into my trimmer to score it. So I'm going to make an X and score from one tick mark to the other at a diagonal, and then I'll turn it and score again. So I'm making a great big X, and then I'm just folding everything on my score marks. And then it's a little tricky to explain, but you're going to make triangles at the top. You're going to push the left and the right side in, and then push it down so that you've got those triangles on both sides for that piece. And then if you want the inside of your card base to be decorated, you need to make sure you put those panels down before you insert the mechanism inside your card. So putting those pattern paper pieces down, and they're cut so that there's a border around each edge of the green apple. So I'm getting that down, and then I'm going to use double-sided tape to attach the triangle pieces to the inside of my card. And the easiest way that I found to get this inside the card is to take the adhesive off of one side and then lay it down, and make sure that you'll have enough room to close your card. So you don't want to put it right up against that score mark in the middle of the card. You kind of want to give it just a smidge of extra space. And then you take your adhesive protective coating off the front and push it all together, and the top part will catch the bottom, and your mechanism is inside the card. So now I'm taking the panels and I'm going to attach it to the mechanism. So it's only going to be attached on the bottom left corner and the top right corner. So I'm putting more double-sided tape down, and then I'm going to mark it at 3/4 of an inch. So the bottom left corner of the mechanism inside of the card is going to be at 3/4 of an inch on the left side of the panel card. So the panel card is going to be hanging over by 3/4 of an inch right there. So I'm attaching it at the bottom left, and then I'm going to do the same thing and mark it 3/4 of an inch and make sure that that amount is hanging off. And then I'm going to attach it at the top right corner. And then you just smash everything together, and there it is, your twist and pop. Okay, so now let's decorate the front of the card. So I've got the piece of Holly Jolly paper with the green paper with the kind of snowflakes on it. I'm going to keep the front of the card kind of simple as far as colors go. I'm just going to go with the green and white. And I've got a piece of white grosgrain ribbon, and I'm wrapping it around using glue dots around the top, and then I'll just glue that down to the front of my card with the broad tip glue pen. And this also has a little bit of a border around the edges. And I'll make my bow at the end, so I'm not working with quite so much bulk. So I have cut the letters J and Y from the thin cut alphabet set from Close to My Heart, and I've cut them 3 times and layered them. And I'm using a retired Snowflake thin cut for the O in the word joy. So then I'm going to skip ahead, and I've glued these down with Tombow aqua glue. So each of them are 3 layers of cuts, and then I've glued them all together, stacked them, and then I've glued them to the card. And so now I just set some blocks on top of it for some weight, so they'll set up and stay attached. So I'm using, for the inside panels, a sticker, and then I'm going to use stamps from the Holiday Cheer collection and the December stamp of the month. I'm going to use the sentiment. So I'm stamping these guys, and then I will color them in using the Spectrum Noir tri-blend markers. So that's the snowman. Stamp that down. And then I'll stamp the Christmas tree and clover. And my camera shut itself off while I was filming here, so it's going to skip ahead to after I'm finished coloring, but I probably would have sped that up super fast anyway. So I'm cutting a small piece here to put my sentiment on, and then I am going to back it with some pattern paper. So that's 2 by 2. And I'm going to get my sentiment down. So here I am, almost finished coloring. So get those pieces colored in really quick. And I'm going to cut a piece to go behind the sentiment, the red stripe. I think that's, yeah, it's 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 for each of those panels. And I just thought I would round those 2 corners just to kind of give it a little more interest. And now I'm choosing which pattern paper to go on that 4th panel. So it looks like the gingham paper is going to be is my choice. I'm looking at a couple other things here. Designing as I go. So I like that gingham plaid. And then I saw that the zip strip at the top there, that I thought that would add a little more interest to those 2 stamped white panels. And I was going to put zip strips at the tops and bottoms, but you'll see me kind of figuring things out there, how I want everything to go. And It wasn't, I thought maybe I should have attached those pieces before I put the panel piece inside my card, but I made it work. You can decide if you want to attach your panels first and then attach it to the mechanism, or do it the way I've done it. So it worked. You just have to fuss with it a little bit to get those pieces to glue down flat. Getting those guys in, and then I'll attach the zip strips to the two white panels. So this paper collection is available on my online store until the end of the month. So only a few more days, but if there is extra stock left, then it might wind up in the online only category. So, but I wouldn't count on it. If you want this paper collection, then you should probably get it before December 31st. So I decided that I just wanted the zip strips at the bottom, and added my sticker, and now I'm adding a bow to the front of the card. The easiest way is to just make your bow separate from the line of ribbon, and then attach it with glue dots. And there's my card. A twist and pop action happening there. I hope you give this project a try. I'll make a list below of all of the supplies. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. And please subscribe. And thanks for watching.